everyone, it's Miriam with a Y. Other than the way I came up with a while back of mixing our white alcohol ink with our resin before adding it to our Petries for what I call the cloud and ripple technique, can we do more to vary the texture in a piece? Maybe even have a mix of textures in the same piece? I think so. Today, let's use 3 Keelty inks for our colors: red, blue, and yellow. And for our white, we'll use Pinata Blanco Blanco. And for resin, we'll use Clearcast 7050. It's my favorite. Okay, let's play. I've started out by adding my already mixed resin to my 3 coaster molds, giving each a quick blast of hot air to pop any bubbles that may not have popped on their own. There's 30 milliliters or 1 ounce of resin in each of the molds. In the medicine cup, I've got about 10 milliliters of resin that I reserved for a bit later. In this second medicine cup, I'm adding some Keelty blending solution, followed by some Pinata Blanco Blanco or white alcohol ink. And I'm creating a roughly 50-50 mix, so half white ink and half blending solution. Next, I'm adding a couple of drops, about 3 or 4, of the resin to this and mixing it in very well. I then suck up the whole mix into a mini pipette. Because this is very liquid, it all sucks up pretty immediately, like really super fast. Now, in the 10 milliliter of leftover resin, I mix in enough Pinata Blanco to make that bit of resin a nice, good, opaque white. Like before, I squeeze the air out of my mini pipette, and then I stick the end into the cup. But because this mix is much thicker than the ink in the other cup, the ink and blending solution in the other cup, this time I let the white resin slowly fill the pipette on its own. So now I have 2 ways of adding white to my pieces. I have a white ink that I thinned with blending solution, which I'll call blending white from here on out for convenience. So when I say blending white, I'm referring to the ink and blending solution mix. And then I have a white ink and resin mix, and I'll call that white resin from now on. In this first coaster, I'm starting to add color, and the only white I'm going to add is the blending white. Now, the reason I added a couple of drops of resin to that white mix is to see if that can help prevent the white mix from dropping straight through and, crashing to the bottom and causing unwanted white blobs that sometimes we get on the other side of Petries when we just use white alcohol ink. I'm kind of hoping that's gonna maybe mitigate that a little bit. Kind of hoping. We'll see tomorrow. Well, meaning the end of the video. So remember, for this piece, the only white I'm using here is the blending white. In the next test, let's switch things up a bit. For this one, I'm starting out with a circle of white resin dots along the periphery, which are super easy to add, by the way, with the mini pipette. And once I have as many as I want, I swirl them into the clear resin. And then next, let's drop some red on top of that nice swirl. While I wait to see if the red ink moves more after contracting somewhat, I start to play with the middle of the third piece. The white that I use here for now is only the blending white. Now let's see what happens if we add the blending white on top of the red on coaster number 2. Okay, it definitely gets the red to churn. Pretty much like plain white ink might do. But I'm hoping for a slightly different, more delicate look maybe. I don't know, we'll see what happens. Back to coaster number 3. And some white resin. It's interesting how the white resin stays pretty unchanged when it first hits the clear resin. Like the dots stay solid, they don't do anything. Now, if I did nothing to those white dots, if the resin is warm enough or liquid enough, they would slightly stretch and migrate toward the middle. But let's do some swirling for a hopefully gauzy, silky texture on the other side. Now for some more color in both. Some blue in coaster number 2 and yellow in number 3. Now you can tell right away which white I've added to the blue, given how it blooms and then contracts. The only white that I'm going to use in coaster 2 from this point on is the blending white. In other words, the white ink that's thinned with the blending solution. Now I have every reason to believe that like Pinata Claro Extender or other brands of blending solution would behave the same way. I anticipate that some of you are going to ask, does it have to be Kilty blending solution? I doubt it. I just prefer the Kilty because it has an odor that doesn't bother me, and also it's not toxic, so I just like using it. The other blending solutions, I don't know, their odors are really strong to me, so I'm just a Kilty girl when it comes to blending solution for sure. To finish the adding of color to coaster 3, I decided to add a mix of both types of my white mixes. Unlike for coaster 2, I am not going to swirl the white dots on the periphery of coaster 3. I do add red on top of those dots, followed by blending white to see how it might behave differently from the red on top of the white in coaster number 2. I hope that's not too confusing. My hope is that we will get a totally different look on the periphery of these two coasters. And then to end this coaster, I'm swirling in some white resin dots, more in the middle. I then add a swiggle to coaster 1, just for fun. And then I fill in the empty space in the middle of coaster 2. And I think we can leave these to cure now. Oh, and while we do that, make sure to subscribe and click on the bell to always know when I put out a new video. Okay, see you in a few. Let's see what we've got. All right, I'm just wearing gloves for fingerprints since I'm going to be doing 3 of these, and I think there's going to be a lot of pointing to do. Okay, I'm not doing this in any particular order. Okay, if I remember correctly, this is one where I did a lot of swirling of the resin and alcohol, white alcohol ink mix. So let's see how this turned out. I can already tell that some of those drops that I did around the periphery, they didn't move much. They pretty much stayed very much intact. So my guess on that is that the resin really wasn't that warm. I think if I had warmed it, that it might have been a little more liquid and therefore easier for things to move inside, but we'll see how that goes. I don't see much sinking along the edge. Already I can tell that. But, so there's a lot of sitting on the edge. Ooh, but that's really cool looking though. There's a lot of fun going on in here. So here in the center, I remember, and also along the red, I remember using the thinned down white alcohol with just a hint of resin mixed in to see if it would prevent us having a lot of like white spots falling through to the other side. And it does seem to have helped with that a little bit. So I am happy with that. What looks like a white dot there, but what that actually is light that you're seeing from the other side. So there really are no white dots that came to this side at all. That aspect definitely worked. I think this is a really cool Petri. I think it's very unusual. And I love all the different textures in this one. Yeah, I'm very happy with that. Okay, this one was just thinned down white alcohol with a hint of resin added, like a couple of drops of resin mixed in. So there was no white, that heavy white and resin mix put into this one as far as I remember. Oh, and then at the end I just kind of did a little swiggle. So let's see what this one gave us. Again, oh no, I see a little bit of dropping along the edge here. So definitely some dropping. Again, most everything stayed on the surface, and the swiggling of the stick gave us most of the movement here. And then in this clear blue area here, that's just blue ink that had no white mixed into it. So sometimes people ask, well, what if I just put just alcohol ink, just colored alcohol ink and never use any white? Well, you'd get a lot of this. That's still interesting though. I like the texture here. So I want to see how I can take advantage of that in another piece. But I think that's pretty cool too. A lot of fun texture. Okay, and then for the last one. Okay, this was a combination also. I think on this one, I just did that ring around the periphery of the mostly resin and white mix, and then I swirled that in. And then for everything else, if I'm not mistaken, it was just the thinned white alcohol that we used. And there's a very pretty pattern already on this side. I really like the center here. It's very fire-like, and yeah, I think that's really cool. Alrighty, let's see what we got with this one. Some dropping. That's cool. I love the periphery of this. There's a lot of texture. This looks like, I don't know, like terry cloth. I think that's cool. I love these little bursts of red. I think that is very, very interesting. I like this one a lot. So I think that when you mix things up, you're just, you know, I mean, Petris can have a very sort of predictable look, or you can just play around and get lots of different effects. So try, mix, be sort of like a mad scientist and see what different things you can get going in your Petris. This looks kind of like a little flower. I love it. This is probably my favorite, but I'm really curious to hear which is your favorite. So tell me in the comments, and when you make your possibly experimental pieces, come show them off in my Facebook group, or just come to see what others are making. For more Petri experiments and tutorials and alcohol ink tutorials, including more exclusive experiments coming this week, become a patron of my channel on patreon.com. Links for the group, the Facebook group, Patreon, as well as everything I used are in the description box below the video. I can't wait to see what you're making these days. Stay safe and let your creative natures shine. See you soon. Bye now.